Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you. All right, so I know we all know the story of Christmas, right? This beautiful little story of Luke's story of the birth and the nativity and stuff like that. This is John's story. This is John's birth story. And it's convoluted because that's the way John is. John is very poetic and very, very convoluted. You don't want to read it while drunk. I'll just tell you that. Not that I ever have. Let's not talk about what happened in seminary. Let's not worry about it. It happened. It's over. But it's a powerful story. It's not as cute and adorable as the one from Luke, which is why we always use that one on Christmas Eve, right? Because we all love that cute, adorable story. But John's is much deeper and more intense, I think, and it draws us in. It makes us work a little bit harder. And John loves the image of light and dark, and this idea that the world is full of darkness, that we ourselves are full of darkness. And it's not until Christ comes among us that light really, really enters into this world, that we really can see things for what they truly are. And that's a powerful image, because light is such a powerful image for you and I. Or it can be, if it isn't. And I love the vision of like a star, like this incredible power of this light, that we in ourselves have that in our core being. And that's what's really, really important to understand, that when Christ comes into the world, Christ comes into us. At the very core of our being is this burning, bright fire and light, if we're okay with it. Because it's in everybody. We all carry this Christ within us. We all carry this divine spark. The problem is, some of us ignore it, or we hide it, we cover it up, because it burns. As much as light is good, light hurts. And the image that I love, I'm going to tell it to you whether or not you've heard it before, is Plato's allegory of the cave. Has anyone ever heard Plato's allegory of the cave, or am I the only nerd here? Who's read Plato? Okay. So I'm going to give you the very messy Meg version of Plato's allegory of the cave. Allegory of the cave. Yeah, sorry, I need more coffee, because I'm mumbling. Okay, so there's a cave, and there are people, prisoners, chained up in rows, kind of like you guys are. Yeah. And they're chained so they can't turn around. All they can see is the wall of the cave in front of them. And there are people behind them. And they have puppets, and they're casting shadows on the wall. But here's the thing. You guys can't turn around. You can't see what I see behind you. All you can see is the puppets on the wall. So those are real, because you can't see anything else, right? All you see is these shapes moving. So the shapes are real. And then finally, one day, a man somehow gets loose, or a woman, because, yeah, I'm telling the story. I'm going to fix it for you, Plato. We'll talk about other Platonic things sometimes, but I'll fix Plato. So a person gets out of the chains, and they turn around, but they're not completely out. They turn around, and they realize that it's other people with the puppets casting the shadows. So it wasn't the real that they thought it was. There's somebody else creating this real that they believe is real. Okay, so eventually, so then he realized that is the real, right? Eventually, he gets out of the chains completely, and he sees that there is an entrance to the cave. Or she. They. Let's just use they. They is my favorite pronoun. So they realize that there's an entrance to the cave. So the cave is not the entire reality. All right. So they make their way to the cave entrance, right? And they kind of sneak out. And they look, and the sun is enormous and bright. The light is so incredibly bright. They've never seen light before, right? Because they've been in a cave. They didn't know that light existed, but they do now. And they go out and they look at it, and oh my gosh, you look at the sun and it hurts. There is pain in that realization of that light and that reality of what is true and real. There is pain and beauty in it. So here's the question, because it's so beautiful, they want to stay there. They want to stay in that light. Because eventually the pain starts to ease, and they realize just how glorious and wonderful that is. So here's the question. Do they go back into the cave and release the others so that they see the light too? Or do they stay in the light alone, by themselves, keeping the others in darkness? That is the Christian life. That is the Christian life that we are all called to. The realization that that stuff, it's not real. It's been projected to us, and we believe that it's real, but it's not until the light comes into us that we realize that's not real. We've been convinced forever. The world tells us again and again and again. The puppets tell us again and again and again, this is real, this is the reality, this is what you should do. But it's not real. And when Christ comes into the world, it hurts sometimes. When we realize what the light shines upon us, it hurts. The brightness can hurt, but it's so incredibly wonderful and beautiful. And when Christ comes into this world, sometimes it hurts. When Christ comes into us, sometimes it hurts. It's also beautiful and wonderful. The next question we have to ask ourselves is, once we're okay with that light within us, because that's a hard step. It's a big step to accept the Christian faith, isn't it? To really, truly believe in this light. The next step is we go back into the world and let other people know about the light too. Sorry, Play-Doh.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
Much more malleable.